Okay. Faith, can you make it so that it's a little bit more over? Just adjust the, like that. All right, that works too. All right, so welcome to the Power Chakra Workshop. Thank you guys for coming. This workshop is going to go extensively into the energetic field and how the chakras can tell you a story. Your chakras, I'm sure that you're probably familiar with them by now, but your chakras line up from the base of your spine to the top of your head. In this chakra workshop, we're going to be dealing with the main 7 chakras. There's a lot of chakras, but in healing, we deal specifically with the main 7 chakras. So this is a holistic health approach to wellness through chakra balance. And chakra balance addresses both the body and the spirit. Clearing the chakras heals the physical body by releasing stored energy blocks that have accumulated through a lifetime of trauma and negative experiences. Once these blocks are gone, the body can return to its natural flow state. Your body has an amazing mechanism. It's the self-healing mechanism that if it's given the right environment, it can adapt accordingly. So by working with your chakras, you're strengthening the environment. You're giving it that adaptive environment where it can strengthen and where you can bring more optimal health and wellness into your body. So once these blocks are gone, the body can return to its natural flow state, promoting optimal health. In most cases, the results of improved energy is quickly noticed, but it's sometimes subtle too. So even though it does make a big impact, I want you to just kind of become aware to subtle changes too, because you don't need to unearth everything in your life all at once. You want to do it with ease and with grace. So as much as it does create an impact, just become aware of the subtle energy changes as well, and you'll be really amazed. You'll really learn that the chakras are telling you a story and can really help to work through things for you without you really needing to go and do external things outside of yourself, doctors and so on and so forth. So we balance our chakras so that the energy can move freely. The chakras go from the lower to the higher chakras. It goes from the base of the spine to the top of the crown. And in their natural state, pure flowing energy can be received, and that would be such things as abundance, prosperity, and joy. It's realized and becomes part of your experience as you're walking through life. So what exactly is a chakra? A chakra is basically, this is a visual that I have, a chakra is basically the energy centers in your body. They look, if you needed a visual, something like this. It would be something that would circulate. It's a center of light, and it circulates the energy through your body. They're supposed to be round and multidimensional, not really flat or broken up, but they do get flat and broken and blocked. Sometimes they can be too open, and sometimes they can be too closed. So each chakra, so the chakra is a Sanskrit word, which means wheel of light. Our chakras sense the energy and serve to tell us about the world around us. The chakras form a well-organized system that directs our life force energy, which is chi, or the ki in Reiki. It's promoting physical health, emotional stability, and mental clarity. Each chakra is a vortex of moving energy. It's a ductless gland of the body which stimulates the endocrine system and organs to secrete the necessary hormones into our bloodstream. Our chakra is our body's filtration center. So chakras, health, and well-being. When a chakra is healthy and balanced, it spins in the circular motion. I don't get too hung up on the way that the chakra is moving, because when you're looking at the way that energy flows, a ball doesn't just flow in one direction. But for the sake of understanding it, you want to look at the energy as circulating in the motion of clockwise instead of counterclockwise. So if there's a disturbance or a blockage within the chakra, the circular motion becomes elliptical, flattened on its side, or it goes in the opposite direction. The faster the chakra spins, the more energy it can receive and transmit in the balanced state. If one chakra gets sluggish or blocked, it will affect the other chakras. They work as a buddy system. So, and it is our whole body line through the center of our being, from our root, which is at the base of the spine, to the top of the head. So if one chakra gets sluggish or blocked, the others will try to compensate, which throws your energy out of balance. It's as simple as that. Sometimes we have particular situations in our life that are supposed to be lessons that we're working through, And your chakra is not going to be of the best health all the time because of the things that we experience, just because we're here and we're living life. And we have to do that. That's part of being here. So what happens is, as one chakra goes out, the other chakras will compensate or become blocked and sluggish and so on and so forth. So by working on your energetic field in whatever way you want, you can do this through food, you could do this through exercise, you could do this through modalities such as Reiki or yoga. Any of these things are things that you can work with, especially now according to the chakras, in a more detailed way so that you can create your own self-care plan, because you know where you need more work once you can identify the chakras and understand them according to the experiences that you're experiencing. So when this energy goes out of balance, if it goes out and on for a lengthy time, our resistance gets lower and the illness can begin to manifest in the physical body. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have a disease, but it is the difference between dis-ease and disease. So at the energetic level, when you're working with the chakras and they're starting to get sluggish, and as I said, your chakras and your energy is always changing, you just don't want to let it stay in one state that's not of good quality for too long. Because over many, many years, as you deal with life and the circumstances, it does become a possibility for a physical ailment in the physical body. So they begin to manifest in the physical body. The chakras are affected by the energy of our thoughts, feelings, and attitude, as well as the energy of others in the space we share. There are hundreds of chakras spinning ideally in the clockwise direction, attracting healthy energy for us to absorb, while at the same time dispelling negative energy we no longer need. So if you needed a visual, you're looking at healthy energy coming in through your front and the dispelling of negative energy through your back, just by the way that the circulation of energy flows through the center. The healthier the chakra, the more energy we attract and we filter. Everything is energy. So taking care of these sorts of conditions or your energetic patterns is going to help you to attract what you're putting out into the world. Because everything is energy, you want to have a higher vibration. You want to be able to align your chakras. You want to be able to hold that alignment and have that balance so that then, with you putting that energy out, you're attracting the same energy, because we attract what kind of energy we have. This is also why I mentioned in Reiki level 2 and 3, you want to make sure that you're working with Reiki if you're going to start taking on clients, because you will attract people that need help in the areas that you need help. So you really need to be able to assist them in working through that process. So that's why we say, come to the Reiki shares, do your Reiki levels, do your practice, and as you become more confident and you realize and recognize the things that you recognize in your own energetic field, you'll be able to handle it so much better for someone else because you have an experience of how it worked for you. So there are hundreds of chakras spinning ideally in a clockwise direction, attracting healthy energy for us to absorb, while at the same time dispelling negative energy we no longer need. The healthier the chakra, the more energy we attract and filter. The more healthy, balanced energy we attract and hold on to, the healthier, stronger, and happier we can be. Your vibration will just be higher. You'll just feel more energetic. If you've gone to a Reiki share, you might realize you recognize, I feel really energized. For me, that's how I feel. I leave a Reiki share and I'm like, I can paint the house, because my energy has then been filtered, it's been cleaned, and it's 9 o'clock at night. And I'm like, I'm gonna go home and paint the house like I just had a can of Coke, which is actually another way we can use foods and exercise and so on and so forth to adjust our energies. So if you look at it in that way, working with your chakras is like, for me, a can of Coca-Cola. I have Coca-Cola when I need to move, or coffee for some people. Coffee actually doesn't really caffeinate me as much as it should. It doesn't. But
It just tastes good.
But the Coca-Cola works. But the longer and the more you work with this energy, the more you can hold on to a healthy, balanced energy, and then you'll be attracting that, and then you'll feel stronger, you'll feel happier, you'll feel more aligned, you'll feel more balanced, you'll be attracting that. Each chakra is responsible to maintain the health of a particular section or sense of our body and experiences. We're going to go into that in depth today. We'll talk about how it lines up, what an open chakra looks like, what a closed chakra looks like. We'll play a game later. You'll be able to see it in play so that you can start to recognize it. So it is responsible to maintain a particular part of the body, and that is the situation that each chakra governs. That's what we'll be talking about. And it controls a range of energy frequencies flowing into and out of the physical body. It's also receiving and dispelling through the layers of the aura. So we're going to go into the aura, which was this piece of paper, because this piece of paper actually shows your aura and the different layers. This is how we collect energy, guys. Walking through a room or a space of negativity that energy sits out here in your aura, and it's going to make its way in. Makes its way all the way into the chakra system that's lined up in the middle. So that's why we're going to be discussing the aura as well and the layers of the aura. Although there are hundreds of chakras, there are 7 major ones that are usually dealt with in healing. These chakras start at the base of the spinal cord and reach up along the spinal cord all the way to the top of the head. And you've probably all seen that. Your 7 major chakras, they're always coming. Traditional chakra numbers are always from the bottom up. So your first chakra is your root chakra, your second chakra is your sacral, your third solar plexus, your fourth heart, your fifth throat, your sixth third eye, and your seventh is crown. Chakra malfunction. So what creates disharmony in chakra balance in the first place? Chakras can be damaged or balanced through emotional upset, such as conflict, loss, fear, anxiety, stress, or accidents. We know that when we have somebody in a space where we feel uncomfortable, that energy is affecting us. Somebody walks in a bad mood, or maybe has some negativity that they're trying to deal with, and then it's the normal thing in nature just to project. It's just how energy works. We project our experiences because our energy is holding on to that. So if you're sitting there and you're thinking about a fight you just had, or a fight you had a week ago and you haven't been able to get through it because it's just constantly in your head, that's your thought working its way into your energy field. So clearing it out and working with your energy might help you to get rid of it quicker. Not necessarily completely all at once right away, because it might have something to do with something you need to know. Our chakras are lined up with governing certain things so that we learn life lessons, because we are predispositioned to particular chakras. So I am a teacher, so I have a very strong throat chakra, but my throat chakra wasn't always strong. I had to work through expressing myself, communicating, learning in order to stand up here and speak to you all. It took a lot of research. It took me a lot of organization. It took me time to really learn what I needed to so that I felt comfortable and I could share it. And then the more that I realized that helped me, the more I wanted to share it with people. So as a teacher, my throat chakra is a strong point in my energetic fields. In my life lessons, my throat chakra is important. It's basically something that governs me. Sacral is another one. My sacral chakra is where I've had a lot of issues that have come to physical ailment. Just in general, endometriosis, hysterectomy, all of those things, really bad cramping, a lot of menstrual issues. That's just because my sacral chakra needs work. So how do I then fix that, Do I not go and get medical treatment? No, I absolutely went and got medical treatment. I got a hysterectomy when I needed to after I couldn't deal with it anymore. But through the life process of what I needed to learn from my sacral chakra, I learned about myself. I learned about methods. I learned about what I needed to recognize in my life. And then I realized, okay, how am I going to go about this? So you're going to find out later on as we go that the chakras are actually pretty tightly lined up from the top of your head to the base of your spine. You're going to have one that's predominant and another one at the lower level that needs work. That's kind of how it works. It's just the energy flow and how it connects. So as we have this disharmony in our chakra system, it could be damaged and blocked through emotional upsets, conflicts, loss, fear, anxiety, stress, accidents we've gone through. It's a disruption of the chakra and the aura that leads to disease from disease. Disrupting the energy and the balance of the chakra is going to be what is the potential of creating disease opposed to disease. Psychological problems may cause blockages, obstructing the flow of energy. The state of the chakras depend on many different factors, such as lifestyle, thought patterns, emotional history, and even your past lives will come in to play. That's going to be part of what you recognize in your strongest suits. It's going to be from previous lives or from previous experiences, because you recognize at that point that it's a life lesson that you're dealing with at this level. So what to consider in reference to the chakra location? The lower chakras are root, sacral, and solar plexus, and are magnetic in nature. Because of this, they're considered yin. So I have the yin and the yang energy. We talk about female and male energy because we all have female and male energy regardless of our gender, or we all have male and female energy. It's the balance. One of the things that you can recognize in the yin and the yang symbol is that even in the white, there's black. Even in the black, there's white. That's the significance of both energies working together. And then together coming in, they create balance. So your lower chakras are your yin or your feminine energy. If you took Reiki level 1 or level 2, we talked about the energy on your left side being female and your receiving side, and on the right side it's your male energy and it's your giving side. That's completely true as well. But in reference to the chakras, it's in all directions. This is why I say don't get too hung up on it just being circular. You know, it's a ball rolls in many different ways. So you have energy coming in, you have energy going out, you have energy coming up, you have energy coming down, you have energy coming from the left, you have energy going out the right. It's in every direction. So your lower chakras, being your yin or feminine energy, their function is specifically receptive, as in your left side is your receptive and your female energy. Your upper chakras are your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown, and they're electrical in nature. Because of this, they're considered the yang or the masculine energy, and they're primarily the transmitters of energy, that giving energy. That if you look at, gathering and nurturing, or hunting, however that goes, but the male energy is the putting out, and the female energy is the bringing in and the nurturing. So it's similar to that. So when yin and yang come together, they form harmony. Your yin chakras draw denser energy up from the earth, and they circulate it through the physical body, releasing it as ki. You have a question? Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay, I thought you had a question. My daughter's like, no, I don't have a question. She thought I was pointing her. No. So your yin chakras draw denser energy up from the ground. If you think about it, it's the physical sense. We've talked about how everything is energy, but there's a thicker, denser energy, and that's the things that we can touch. They're things that, are of the physical sense. And then there is a more magnetic, electrical energy, which is lighter. Our thoughts are energy, and that's not something you can necessarily touch. You can experience it, but you experience it in a different way. So your yin energy is the denser energy that comes up from the earth, and it circulates through the physical body, releasing it as chi, which chi means energy. Yang draws down spiritual life force energy down through the crown chakra, and it circulates into the system to combine and create the balance. Individually, each chakra is also has a specific function, vibration, color associated with it, and an energetic purpose and pattern. When balanced and in alignment, we become clear channels of pure energy, and it ripples out and in through without our body. And our lives, in every sense, through our aura and in all ways. So, when we talk about yin energy, being your lower, denser energy, yang energy coming down, quick tip. Mother Earth, Father Sky. That's how you could remember it. Mother Earth is earth. It's dense energy. Father Sky. Thoughts, air, all of the things that come down that are not of dense energy like Mother Earth is. So here is your chakra alignment chart. You may see that in different charts, depending on what you're looking at, there can be variations. There can be variations in your chakra elements according to whether you're looking at traditional Chinese medicine or Ayurvedic Indian medicine. There are slight variations. Being familiar with it and just working with the energy, kind of being loosely open to whatever it is, I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be a game changer because there's differences, because energy is energy. And just like I said, yin has yang and yang has yin. Later on, you might find out that in my root chakra, I have crown chakra energy, you know? So, but this is the way that the chakra alignment chart is being presented. The biggest variation that you're going to see is that your purple is going to be white because your purple is crown. It can be white, divine white light, or it can be purple. If the crown is white, then the third eye, or the brow, becomes purple. It just drops down, and indigo is kind of absorbed into purple. So white and purple and light blue for your throat, or purple, indigo, and light blue for your throat is what you're going to see. There's a very easy way to remember this. The colors of the rainbow, that's how you see this. It comes from the bottom though, from the base, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, purple. Those are the colors and that's how they line up. So in the variations of different things, there might be slight changes. It is basically based on what system you're looking at. Your energy is your energy, but there have been alterations from Ayurvedic medicine into traditional Chinese medicine where things were changed. You will also see a variation in elements based on whether it's traditional Chinese medicine or Ayurvedic. The elements change slightly. So looking at your chakra alignment, your base chakra, your root chakra is red. It actually has glands and organs that's associated with it. Your root chakra at the base of your spine, which is going to be looked at and worked on through your feet, your legs, your knees. This is all root, not just here. But the location at the base of the spine for the root chakra, it's also would be considered your kundalini, is red. It's your root, and it's responsible for your adrenals. Your sacral chakra, which here it says spleen, that's another variation that you might see. You'll see it as spleen, but it could be sacral as well. I refer to it as sacral. Sacral, orange, lines up with your reproductive organs, responsible for your reproductive system. It is legitimately taking this diagram and placing it on your body. That's all it really is that you need in order for you to be able to figure it out. If you don't have the manual or you're not really sure, you take this and you place it on your body. And then you're going to recognize, oh, wow, that's my root, and that could be my legs, and, you know, because that's where my root is. Or, oh, it's my sacral, and I might not know all of the information about my sacral yet, but it's lined up along my reproductive organs, so it must have to do with reproducing and creating life, bringing things to birth, and so on and so forth. The next one is your solar plexus. You might also see this as your power center. You're going to, this is in your Reiki manuals. It talked about putting your hands on your power center before you started working on people. It's not something necessarily that I do. I just work with Reiki the way that I work with Reiki. But in the formal way of working through the Reiki manual at Reiki level 1, it says when you're working on table sessions, you start with the position of the solar plexus, putting energy into the power center of the body. And then you move, if you're at the top of the head, from the top of the head down, or if you're at the feet, from the feet up. So this is your power center. Your solar plexus, you're yellow, and it's lined up, and it's responsible with the pancreas. Next one is heart. It's green, located in your chest, responsible for your thymus. Now, you won't see this on diagrams, but there is two hearts. There's not just one. There's your green physical heart, and this color may also be pink, because along the back, up or in the back of your body is your spiritual heart. It's where we learn to love unconditionally, opposed to loving conditionally. So your physical heart, green. You might also see this as pink in representation as the high heart, which would be of more of an electromagnetic energy opposed to a denser energy, because this is the center. 3, 3. This is the bridge. Your heart is the bridge. So there's two hearts, pink or green, you'll see this as. So the green, with the physical heart, as we're dealing with physical body and manifestation of energy, linked to your thymus. Moving up to your throat is going to be light blue. It's going to be in your throat. It's responsible for your thyroid. When you have issues with your thyroid, you can work on your throat. It's something that is simple, but we don't really think about it. If somebody is saying like, oh, I have a thyroid issue and my body temperature is off, you're going to be like, where do I work on that? In your throat, because it's your thyroid, and that's where your thyroid is. It's located in your throat. You're going to locate your throat chakra and work on the throat chakra. Drinking teas or doing throat medicine to help balance that. Next chakra is the third eye, or the brown. Again, I said this could be indigo. It is in the center of your eyes. It's the center of your forehead. It's your third eye. It is linked to your pituitary. It can also not be indigo, but it can be purple. It's responsible for a lot of the things that you would think. Thoughts. The element that goes with this is metal. If you're an overthinker, you're going to want to work on your third eye because it's with your thoughts. It's in the center of your head. Moving further up, you want to go to the crown. The crown is actually at the top of your head, but not in the physical sense of your body. That's why you may see this instead of being purple as white. Because outside of us, in our most spiritual nature, white, pure energy. That's why you might see that as white opposed to being purple. And the crown is responsible to be violet or white, and it works with the pineal gland. Any questions so far? Pretty good? We're going? All right. This actually is not, I don't think it's up. Go further up, Faith. Yeah, here we go. This one is a diagram. See how my space was off? That's why your manuals vary in pages, because sometimes there's space in the middle of it. This actually is a diagram. I didn't even create this. You can find this stuff. This stuff is talked about. We know about this. We're learning about this. We've come to accept this and to understand these energy patterns and these other ways of dealing with energy and instead of the physical body. We've accepted them. You can find this on Microsoft Word. So it's not necessarily, it's not mine. But the reason why I have this up is because it does go, and it's in your manuals, it goes in depth to the element, to the crystal, to the planet, to your what you want to meditate on. So the crown chakra, this would be the symbol that you'd find in Ayurveda. It looks like a cloud. So it's the crown chakra. It's located at the top of the head. Its function is understanding. Its inner state is bliss. In color, it's violet, and its planet is Uranus. Its stone is amethyst. Its meditation is I understand. Balancing this chakra is said to give vitality to the cerebrum and affect the development of psychic abilities. The energies of this chakra are air, meditative, intuition, and it promotes thought. Your third eye, located in the center of your forehead above the eyebrows, its function is seeing. Third eye, seeing, it's right by your eyes. Seeing. Intuition, its inner state is I know. Its color is indigo. Its planet is Jupiter. Its stone is I like. Its meditation is I see. Balancing this chakra helps psychic perception and balances the pineal gland. Energies are air, intuition, meditation, promotes thought. See how these two are very similar? These two have the same. Your throat chakra, located in the throat. Its function is communication, its creativity, its inner state is synthesis of ideas into symbols. If you're a symbols person, where you like to write symbols, you probably are very throat chakra, governed. I like symbols. I don't, like in Reiki, I like to use symbols. So, its color is bright blue. Its planets are Mercury and Neptune, and I'm a Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. So these are ways that you'll start to bring this together, and you'll see the synchronicities of it, and you'll say, well, that makes complete sense. Its stones are sodalite, blue lace agate, lapis lazuli. Meditate on I speak. Balancing this chakra is important for speech and communication in areas of the brain. Your energy is water, calming, soothing, and relaxes. Your fourth chakra, heart, it's located in the center of your chest. Its function is love. Its inner state is compassion. Love is the color of green, and its planet is Venus. Its stones are green and pink stones. Meditate on I love. Balancing this chakra is important for the circulatory system, the heart, and the thymus. It also affects spiritual love, compassion, and universal oneness. This is where I was explaining the pink opposed to the green. The green being the physical sense, the pink being the high heart, being the spiritual sense, the unconditional love, the compassion, the genuineness that we long for. Solar plexus located in the area above the navel. Its function is will, power. Its inner state is laughter, joy, anger. Its color is yellow, and its planets are Mars and the Sun. So Megan, you said you weren't going to sit home and soak, and you picked joy because you decided you were going to come and you were going to enjoy yourself and you were going to have fun and possibly laugh. I hope you laugh with us. There you go. And its planet is Mars and the Sun. Its stones, amber, topaz, citrine. You meditate on I do. Balancing this chakra is associated with calming your emotions and your frustration, easing tension, and helping to better utilize intuition. Your energy is fire, charging, and it lends energy. Because like I said, the way the heart was the bridge, that's your power center. So it's lending energy in fire, in strength, in power, in courage. Those are all things that's represented by the solar plexus. Your second chakra is your sacral, might also be seen as your navel. The sacral chakra is located lower in the lower abdomen, so your solar plexus is above the belly button, your sacral is below the belly button. It's by your genitals, your womb. Its function is desire, sexuality, pleasure, procreation. Its inner state is tears, its color is orange. In the celestial body is the moon. Its stones are coral and carnelian. Meditate on I feel. Balancing this chakra is associated with sexual vitality, physical power, and fertility. Your energies are fire, energizing, and charging again. Are we having? Thank you. Okay, so your root chakra is your support chakra. It being the base and the foundation and the number one. It starts where everything starts. So it's your support chakra. It's located in the base of the spine. Its function is survival and grounding. Its inner state is stillness and stability. Its color is red. Its planets are Earth, again, Mother Earth and Saturn. Its stones are garnet, ruby, onyx, obsidian. You said you liked obsidian, right? Obsidian. Meditate on I am. I am wellness. Deneen, you are wellness. Balancing this chakra gives energy to the physical body. It controls fear. It increases overall health, and it helps in grounding. Its energies are earth, grounding, focusing, and centering. All the things of grounding. Anchoring. Think of it as an anchor. Think of it as a foundation. Think of it as something to build on. Feeling safe, feeling secure, feeling supported, feeling provided for, feeling protected. That's all root. So now, can you make this smaller so that we can get more of it in? This is where we get really in depth, guys. We're going to go over every chakra and what it's going to look like. So far, so good? No questions? Okay. Anybody recognizing anything based on what we've learned? Yeah, you are. Not you. She is.
I understand that horn carnelian or whatever.
Carnelian?
And I realized that's the chakra I need for. I didn't know that's going in that chakra like that.
Okay.
So I was mind blown.
Very good. Awesome. All right. So this is your individual chakra in detail chart. This talks about the chakra. This is the Ayurvedic name. And then what it represents. So your first chakra is survival. Its location is the tailbone, base of the spine. Another change that you might see, instead of being red, it's black. Remember the colors that the root chakra worked with was obsidian, it's black colors. So it could be black and it could be red. Another reason why this chakra is represented in the color black or in the use of black stones is for protection, because black basically releases, it helps us to remove the things in our body, and black is the color of protection and grounding, and that would be related to why it comes up as the root chakra. Element is earth, or solid matter. The way we were talking about, this energy is denser. Earth and solid matter. The associated sense is smell. We had somebody that actually was doing an ascension class. It was a friend of mine. She was doing an ascension class. She got attuned and she completely lost her sense of smell. This was way before COVID. She was like, oh, she didn't completely lose her sense of smell. She was like, she smelled a certain smell, and it wound up affecting her. Do you know how to say that word?
Olfactory?
Yes, it was in her root. It changed her sense of smell. She was experiencing an issue with that. So it's associated with your sense of smell. Your music note would be C, because in addition to using certain foods, you can use certain music, you could use certain notes. If you're a chanter, throat dominant, you might like chanting. You might like to, or want to open your throat. You might want to use the throat in chanting and in saying certain sounds. So that might be helpful for you. If you were working on your root and you were chanting, the chanting and the music note would be C, and your mantra would be long, or E. Your associated glands, like we talked about, was your adrenals. Your associated body parts is your bone and your skeletal structure. Now, as you come across different materials, you might see that the sacral chakra is also responsible for arthritis. But in the sense that this makes sense to me, and that it also is related to the root, it's because the root deals with our skeletal structure. So anything in the bones, you work with the root to improve those circumstances. So this governs physical, you could work with the root and sacral, you don't need to just pick one, but this governs physical awareness, vigor, heredity, security, passion, feet, legs, survival, and trust. If it's too open, it would come across as somebody maybe bullying, being overly materialistic, being self-centered, or engages in physical foolhardiness. If it's blocked, they may seem emotionally needy, they might have low self-esteem, they may be self-destructing, self-sabotage behaviors, and they might seem fearful. So these are the representations of things. So that, and again, this could happen like this. It doesn't necessarily need to be an ongoing dis-ease, going to disease, but if you start to understand this and recognize this, then you know how to treat someone. Like, oh, maybe it's circumstantial. Maybe they just came in and they were hit from behind, and now they're fearful and they're feeling like they need some work, and you work the root. Because you know that the root chakra is going to make them feel safe. It's going to make them feel secure. It's going to make them feel stable. It's going to pull that energy that was disrupted back into alignment. So if it's balanced, it demonstrates self-mastery, high physical energy, grounded and healthy. The emotional dysfunction is mental lethargia, spaciness, unfocused minds, incapable of stillness, and difficulty achieving goals. Goal achievement, if root is something that you want to work on a goal achievement. It could be a small goal. Just create 5 small goals, work on a goal achievement. And then you're working with the root through your thoughts, through where you're putting your energy. You're focusing on making that root chakra stronger by doing those sorts of things. Again, and who doesn't feel spacey? Brain fog. You think that's in your crown. You work on your root. Sometimes you want to go opposite. If I'm feeling spacey and spaced out, I might want to ground. I might want to use black stones. I might want to wear red because maybe it's going to balance it enough, but not, and still give me the ability to. The other thing too is, and I've mentioned this before, the thing that I love about the crown and the root is the as above, so below. The deeper your root, the higher you expand. Your roots need to be deep so that your expansion could be higher. Because without deep roots, you're going to fall over. So you work on the root in that sense, even with expansion. So, emotional dysfunction, spaciness, unfocused mind, incapable of stillness, difficulty achieving goals. Your life lesson is to stand up for oneself. You're overcoming fear. And your main issue is survival, physical needs. Your goals would be then this root medicine, health and fitness, grounding, stability, and security. Putting those sorts of things in place, whatever that means for you. Walking, going to the gym, creating a regimen that you can do, that would be your root medicine, using those goals. Your sacral chakra represents sensation. It is located in your sex organs near your belly button. It's actually below the belly button. Your color is orange. Sometimes you might see it as brown. You really won't. You'll see it more as orange. But if you were looking for stones that you wanted to work with, it would be, you could use tiger's eye. You'd also use tiger's eye for yellow stomach. Element is water or liquid matter. Think about it. Where do we hold our emotions? What are emotions? Tears, you know, water. So that's your sacral chakra is water, it's emotions. Liquid matter. The associated sense of the five senses is taste. So maybe you working on your sacral chakra, maybe you work on savoring the things that you're eating, mindfulness eating, instead of just eating like I gotta finish this lunch real quick because I have 20 minutes. That's a sense that's linked to the sacral chakra. So to strengthen your sacral chakra, you savor your taste. You become more connected to that. Your music note is D, your mantra is VAM or O as in home. Your associated glands are your ovaries, your testes. Your associated body parts are your sex organs, your circulatory system, your prostate, and your womb. Governs social awareness, sexuality, creativity, emotions, anger, fear, instinct or nature, spleen, perceptions concerning food or sex. If you're an overeater, addiction sits in this one too. This and the solar plexus. So, and it's not just addiction to food or to cigarettes, it's pleasure. Whatever we find pleasure in, if you're doing it too much, could be seen as an overindulgence. So that's sitting in your sacral chakra. Too open, it's going to show up as emotionally unbalanced, a fantasist, manipulative, and sexually addictive. If it's blocked, the person might seem oversensitive, hard on him or herself, feels guilty for no reason, and frigid or impotent. Balanced, it's going to be trusting, expressive, attuned to his or her own feelings, and creative. I absolutely love the creativity of my sacral chakra. I'm going to paint, I'm going to do all the things that make me bring things to life, because that's what my sacral chakra is. That was my sacral medicine. It's where I find balance when I need to, in my creativity. Even if it's a painting, or if it's a bracelet, or if it's just creating a workshop, it's like, I'm gonna create something. I don't wanna create any more children, I'm happy with the ones I have, but there are other things that I could create. My sacral chakra is about creativity. Again, throat and sacral, those are the two that you'll see my actions most represent. All right, so creativity. An emotional dysfunction in this chakra is going to be an unbalanced sex drive, instability, and feelings of isolation. Your physical dysfunction is impotence, frigidity, bladder and prostate problems, and lower back pain. Lower back pain is also a root issue, but it also lines up with your sacral chakra. Your root issue with your lower back pain comes from not feeling the foundation, the security, the stability you need. But it also comes with back pain in the sacral because you cannot create the things you want to create, and it lines up along the back. All right, so uncovering motivations, influencing choices based on conditioning is the life lesson for people that are going to be working on their sacral. It's transcending guilt. So guilt is going to be something that's coming from your sacral. If you're transcending guilt, you want to work on your sacral chakra. Your main issue is going to be emotional balance and sexuality. Goals, allowing pleasure and creative expression in whatever form. Solar plexus chakra represents your power. I talked about it. It was your power center. It's between the sternum and the belly. Its associated color is yellow. Its element is fire or physical energy. It's associated with the five senses of sight. Music note is E. Your mantra is Ram or Am. Your associated gland is pancreas. Your associated body parts are digestive issues and your muscles. So, I just found that I didn't, but if I had just found out difficult news that I'm having a hard time digesting, it's my solar plexus that I want to work on. It's, all right, I'm having a really hard time digesting this. So what do I want to do? I want to work with my solar plexus. because it'll help me. And again, makes complete sense because your digestive system is in your stomach, so it's lining up energetically exactly with your physical body. Your digestion system is your solar plexus, and you'd be working with solar plexus stuff. Solar plexus is a lot about finding comfort. So govern your intellectual awareness, your power, your accomplishments, your will, your ego projections, your vital energies, your control. Control is all about solar plexus. It's a lot, like, I see that too. I am a lot more in my solar plexus now than I have been in the past. And it's in the sense of when it's too open, controlling, it's like, oh, okay, I am basically micromanaging. Micromanaging is a solar plexus thing. So you want to kind of give yourself a little bit of release of having to micromanage everything. So too open, angry, controlling, workaholic, judgmental, and superior. If it's too open, you're overly concerned with what other people think, and fearful of being alone, insecure, and needs constant reassurance if it's blocked. You're balanced if you can respect self and others, and has personal power, spontaneity, and uninhibited. So there you go. If you wanted to work one way or the other, too open, blocked, go do something spontaneous. You know, spontaneity is an experience of your solar plexus. Emotional dysfunction is you need to be in control, you're oversensitive to criticism, you have an addictive personality, you're aggressive, you're low self-esteem. Your life lessons are self-esteem, self-confidence, the courage to take risks, and understanding anger. Your main issue is personal power, self-will, and your goals are to work with purpose, effectiveness, endurance, and self-respect. So far, so good? Now we're moving in from the solar plexus and from the yin energy that's of the denser energy and the lower energy, which, by the way, is probably the hardest meal to take when you're getting that dish served to you. I feel like as you moved up and you go into the heart, and the heart being the bridge, and things being a lot more of air and of thought, and maybe it's just me, or of electrical nature, I feel like it gets a little bit lighter, and it would make sense as to why, because that's the energy that comes with it. So moving into the heart, and the heart being the bridge for this denser energy, and then moving up into the higher chakras. Your heart chakra represents love. The location is the center of your chest. Your associated colors are green and pink. Your element is air or gas matter. Your associated sense from the five senses is touch. This is touch therapy. Like when you go to something like Reiki or you have touch therapy, it stimulates the heart. Massage stimulates the heart. Your music note is F. Your mantra is Yam or A as in Ah. Your associated gland is your thymus, and your associated body parts is your heart, your chest, your lungs, and your circulation. This governs your emotional and security awareness. Your love, your compassion, mediates between the higher yang and the lower yin planes of being. It's healing, it's lungs, breath, sense of time, and relationships. Too open, you may be possessive, you may love conditionally, you might withhold emotions to punish something that you were not, accepting of. You're blocked, your heart would show up as being blocked if you had a fear of rejection, you love too much, feel unworthy to receive love, or if you're self-pitying. Your balanced heart would be showing up if you were showing compassion, loving unconditionally, nurturing, and you desire a spiritual experience in lovemaking. This is part of the relationship part that's associated with the heart. It's that deeper understanding and that real connection. Your emotional dysfunction would be codependency, melancholy, fears concerning loneliness, commitment, or betrayal. Your physical dysfunction would be shallow breathing, high blood pressure, heart disease, and cancer. Your life lesson is forgiveness and compassion for oneness and others, oneself and others. You're unraveling grief when you're working with the heart, And your main issue is beliefs about love and relationships. So you want to work on the goals of having balance, being self-accepting, and having compassion. Showing compassion, living compassionately. So your throat chakra represents your creativity as well. So we talked about that in your sacral, and that was being creative and bringing things to life. But as you move up to the throat, you're also dealing with creativity, because you're dealing with creativity in the lighter form. Where in your sacral chakra, you're bringing actual physical senses of things to life. With your throat, you're creatively bringing things of a lighter, airier energy to life. So your location is at the base of the throat. Your associated color is sky blue. Your element is ether and angelic realms, or space. See how we're getting lighter. Associated sense is hearing. Somebody who has a strong throat chakra, and here's a little hint. You're not sure what is your talent, what is your clair. Clairvoyant, clairaudience, clair this, clair that. Throat chakra, clairaudience, it's hearing. So if you're already strong in your throat, or you're working from your throat in your life, your gift is most likely clairaudient. When you're working on someone else, you might not recognize, like, oh, well, I don't see things. My third eye isn't working. I don't have vision. My intuition isn't there. Well, how do you know that it's coming to you through your third eye? Because your throat chakra is your dominant chakra. It's associated with hearing. Are you hearing? Just knowing. Solar plexus would be knowing. Claircognizant. I just know. So there are actually those talents that line up with these things as well. So your element is space, your associated sense is hearing, your music note is G, your mantra is ham or U as in blue, your associated gland is your thyroid and parathyroid, your associated body part is your throat, your ears, your nose, your teeth, your mouth, and your neck. When we work the throat chakra in table sessions, you're working the ears, you're working the jaw, you're working your throat, you're working the face. Those are all the areas that are related to the throat chakra. Ear, nose, and throat, when you think about it. Think of an ear, nose, and throat doctor if modern medicine suits you understanding a little easier. So your governing factors of your throat chakra are conceptual awareness, ideas, speech, hearing, communications, and self-expression. If it's too open, you're overly talkative, dogmatic, self-righteous, and might come off arrogant. If it's blocked, you hold back from self-expression, may come off as unreliable, and hold inconsistent views. And this is just something too, like, well, yesterday I felt like this, or I thought about that this way, and today I feel differently about it. Inconsistent view, then you would be working on your throat.
Is that speaking your truth as well? Does that fall into self-expression?
Mm-hmm. Yes, being able to communicate, being able to express yourself, being able to speak your truth is all in your throat. So balanced, you're a good communicator. Contented, if you find it easy to meditate, you're artistically inspired. Your emotional dysfunction is perfectionism, inability to express emotions, blocked creativity. Your physical dysfunction would be a sore throat, neck ache, thyroid problems, hearing problems, tinnitus, and asthma. Now, when we were in class, were we not hearing, and I pointed out every time I do, I'm clearing my throat. As you're working on someone, and we were doing Reiki, it was like, you just, oh, come on, Lisa.
Yes.
So, will you share her story for her? You don't have to say her name, but I already did.
Which one was,
When she came to get attuned at OCBTS for Reiki level 1, and she came up and I was like, I was like, she's off, I need to work on her. So when I was showing people in the class what I was showing them that night of class, I was like, come on up here. I lay her on the bed, I'm showing her, working on her body, working in her energy field as I was demonstrating for the class. She goes to work. She comes back the next week. She goes, I think you opened my throat chakra too much. I went off on my boss and I got fired.
on her birthday.
On her birthday. And I was like, get out of here. She was hysterical. She was laughing about it. She had told us in the beginning of class, she's like, I had this job that I was offered and I wanted to leave to go to this job. She said, but then when I told my boss that I was leaving, they gave her a better package. And she was like, well, I really can't leave. I have to stay. They're giving me a better package than what I'm getting if I leave. She kept the job. A week later, she goes in and tells them off and winds up going to the other job. She's like, but that's it. Now that's energy. Oh, maybe it was your intent to do what you thought was right, but now when your energy is balanced, you can't keep your mouth shut because you really belonged over there. And she wound up on her birthday. She was hysterical. She was laughing about it. She was like, I don't even care. I'm so happy it happened.
I just remember her calling and going, I got fired. She didn't even get in the building. They blocked her at the door, gave her her stuff. I'm like, we have to let you go. She was like, but, like, she had all these stuff for her friend. They're like, she's like, but. They're like, yeah, so, she called in, she's like, I got fired. I'm like, what? Like, I had selective hearing. She's like, I didn't get fired. I'm like, on your birthday.
Yeah.
It was a good thing, though.
It was. So things work out the way they need to.
Yep.
So, okay, so yeah, your speech, your hearing, your communication, your self-expression, that's all related in your throat. So chanting is a good exercise. If you're a singer, you have a throat dominance that you can, work with as a singer. Too open, overly talkative, dogmatic, arrogant, where were we? Communicator, balanced, communicator, contented, finds it easy to mediate, artistically inspired. Emotional dysfunction is perfectionism, inability to express emotions, block creativity. Physical dysfunction, sore throats, neck ache, thyroid problems, hearing problems, tinnitus, and asthma. So when you're getting a sore throat, you can work with throat medicine. And over here, there's a whole thing, and in your books, there are 2 papers that talk about foods that deplete each chakra, and there's foods that activate each chakra. The sheet in detail of what foods for each chakra is over here, and you guys can look at it when we take a break if you want, and it would be stuff that you would use. So with your throat, you're gonna see honey. The way that we deal with a sore throat, But if you're feeling like you can't speak your truth, if you feel like you're always biting your tongue, that's going to manifest as laryngitis, as clearing your throat, as sore throats over time. That doesn't mean that when it does, you don't go to the doctor and get an antibiotic. You have a sore throat, you need an antibiotic. But if you were having continuous sore throats, if you were having continuous ear, nose, and throat issues, you'd want to work on your throat. You'd want to work with the throat chakra because that's what governs it. Your life lesson with this chakra is the power of choice and personal expression. You observe silence. Now, this is to like 100% me, 1,000% me. I can't even tell you how many times I just sat and observed. I would sit and I would observe opposed to speaking. I felt like there was a time to speak and there was a real specific, clear-cut time to not speak and to observe things, whether it be because I was uncomfortable with speaking my truth or trying to figure out my identity, because your truth is your identity located in your throat, then you may not speak your truth because you're still kind of identifying it and you can't express it and communicate it until you understand it in your own sense. So observing silence is a throat chakra thing. And I will tell you, I could yell and yell and yell when my kids were little and I didn't hear a thing. I shut my mouth, and they were all like, Mommy, what's wrong? Are you okay?
That's
They
when
would
you
be
get scared. Like, what's wrong?
If you're quiet, there's a problem. Like, why is there quietness opposed to you yelling at us or correcting us? It's the opposite, but it's the throat chakra. So your main issue is communication and self-expression, and your goals is harmony with others, self-knowledge, learning your own identity, understanding your own truth so that you can communicate it and you can express it, and creativity. Your third eye, see how that goes? It's all broken up, but third eye chakra represents your intuition. Now, before I even go more into this, I want to share something with you. I used to think third eye intuition was only visual. It was the sense of being able to see. It was actually seeing things, opposed to what I feel intuition really is. When I say intuition, I'm not clairvoyant. That would be clairvoyant, clair vision. I hear all of these things though and get all of these all of this message and all of this information on all other talents, opposed to clairvoyance. in hearing it, in knowing it, in just logically being able to work through it. Remember that as your third eye too. Your thought process, you're working through things. So your intuition, when I say intuition, is not just intuition and vision. And a lot of times, especially in this society, the way that it's like, oh, I gotta open my third eye. We all wanna open our third eye. I wanna get messages, I wanna be psychic, it's not only that. There are other aspects of third eye when we talk about intuition. But it is in representation, your third eye is in representation of intuition. The center of the forehead is the location above the eyes. Your associated color is indigo. Your element is spiritual, vision, archangels, and mind, thoughts. Being able to process information is also third eye. Music note would be a high A. Your mantra would be Om. Your associated gland is your pituitary. Your associated body parts is your eyes and the base of your skull. Again, I'm getting older, and that's why I'm losing my sight, and it bothers me to no end, because my children have had glasses, and I never knew what it was like. And then I get older, and now I can't read, and I'm like, this is freaking me out. Like, how can I go through life not being able to see? How did they do that? And it's really new to me at a much older age. And this is just part of my age. And it's probably not something that's gonna change. I could probably strengthen it. But when you think of it as that as well, physical vision, the things like blurriness or eye infections, all third eye related. Your music note is the high A, your mantra is Om, your pituitary gland is the associated gland, your associated body parts is the eyes and the base of the skull. You're governing your intuitive awareness, your intuition, your thought, your inner and outer sight, your visions, and your dreams with your third eye. When somebody is dreaming consciously, vivid dreams, that's third eye related. That's processed information. So this is a whole completely different class. But if you're a vivid dreamer and you are getting messages and it's working through your subconscious, that's your third eye, working for you to process things at a subconscious level. Your third eye is responsible for your dreams, your sleep cycle. Those are all the things that you want to work with. If you're having problems with sleeping and sleep disruption or nightmares, you want to work with third eye and crown. They are the ones that associate with that. So you're too open, you're highly logical, dogmatic, you're authoritarian, and you're arrogant. If it's blocked, you're undisciplined, you fear success, your tendency towards schizophrenia, and you set your sights too low. If it's balanced, you'll come off charismatic, highly intuitive, not attached to material things, and you may experience unusual phenomena, not necessarily just in visions. Emotional dysfunction would be nightmares, learning difficulties, and hallucinations. Physical dysfunction, headaches, poor vision, neurological disturbances, and glaucoma. Life lesson, emotional intelligence. I had a whole workshop on that. I love that class. If you guys want to work on that and we have enough people, I'll put it back on. Stilling your mind. It really helps you understand the emotions and the process of working through your third eye. And your main issue is intuition and wisdom. Your goals is the ability to see other than with your eyes. Now, this right here is one of the biggest differences that we're seeing in this time and age. So many more labels, and we've had this conversation. I said it's not really going to be No Child Left Behind until they have someone in special needs being a principal at school. Because of the neurological disturbances and the learning difficulties that we are now diagnosing, we see this pattern in our schools and in the things and in the way that people learn, the pattern that is associated with your third eye. This is because of our awakening. This is the time and age that we're in. So when you see those sorts of things, I just want to make sure that you recognize that these are not necessarily things that should not be seen as good things. Because these things are things that are linked to the awakening, to the evolution of our physical bodies into a state of enlightenment. So I just wanted to point that out. Come on.
Sorry.
one. I'm sure they all want a break at this point because the information can be overwhelming. So we will take a break after this. So your crown chakra represents your spirit. The location is at the top of your head. The colors that are associated are violet and white. Your element is actually cosmic kingdom. It's beyond the elements because it's not of the physical sense. It's outside of our body. You have a question?
Oh, no, I was
Okay.
just,
Okay.
yeah, thought.
Your mantra is Om Mani Padme Hum, or E as in B. Your associated gland is your pineal. Your associated body parts are your upper skull, your cerebral cortex, and your skin. Eczema, crown chakra, anything of the skin. The skin is the outside source with the crown, as the root is your bone structure internally. Skin is the outside casing. Bones are the internal sense of being. So, this governs your imaginative awareness, connection to cosmic consciousness, your spiritual wisdom, aspirations, and knowledge of truth. Too open, you may seem psychotic or manic depressive, confused with sexual expression, frustrated, or you might have a sense of unrealized power. If it's blocked, constantly exhausted, can't make decisions, no sense of belonging. Balanced, you have a magnetic personality, you achieve miracles in life, you're transcendent, and you're at peace with self. Emotional dysfunctions are depression, obsessive thinking, and confusion. Your physical dysfunctions are sensitivity to pollution, chronic exhaustion, epilepsy, and Alzheimer's. Your life lesson is selflessness and dissolving the elements. It's outside of the body. Your main issue is spirituality and selflessness. Come on, Neil. All right. Around us in the field. All right, we're going to take a break now because we're going to go into the aura and we're going to talk about how that all then links into the aura, but I want you guys to get up and move. How are you guys feeling at this point?
Good.
Good?
Yeah,
Not
I have more
overwhelmed?
clarity on exactly what chakras are, and so it really changed my whole perception of like what I thought it was.
Excellent, awesome. All
I
right.
have an awareness of what I thought was impacting me, what was blocked, but looking at the list recently, I think I've got 3 specific main areas that I didn't think about before.
Okay.
So this is good information.
So the information too is, remember that, like I said, your energy is always changing. Your experiences, attunements, and so on and so forth. When we were talking in that group text and Sophie was like, how do you get back to normal life? That was crown. You had an attunement and all this energy put into your crown chakra. Now you got to find your way back down to your feet. So it's changing. It's always changing on circumstances that could be considered favorable or unfavorable. They're always changing. But there are certain designs in our life to help move us forward, which is where this information becomes very helpful, I feel.
This past week, I've had a lot of confusion and a lot of like brain fog and and I was getting very frustrated. Like, where is this coming from all of a sudden? And now
No.
I can kind of pinpoint it now a little bit. So this is very helpful.
Okay, awesome. All right, so we're gonna take a break. Will you turn the light on, please?
Oh yeah.
I'm missing a page.